Hello guys, it's Pacman here. Sorry for last live cutoff. I had some technical problems, so I decided that I will finish the tutorial of integrating ads into your application by recording a video and not live. So let's just start. So before the cutoff, I was just trying to explain that our application looked like this. So we have an up bar at the top and a central button, and our idea is to create a banner ad here, just below the central button of launching the light, and also we'll create some space between the button and the banner. And to achieve that, well, we need to transform our center widget to column widget. And to do that, I'll just explain what I have added that was cut off, and I'll just explain the code. So basically, as you can see, there's still a center widget. However, we have changed the child not to be only light button, but also I have added the column button, because therefore column can contain more than one element as its children. So therefore, light button is our button that we created before. There we have a white space between button and our banner ad, where we can specify the number of pixels as a white space, and also we have the banner ad here. And banner ad is a created widget by me. And if we go to the banner ad and go to the app, it is a stateful widget, and it has a banner ad property. And add.banner_ad means that this banner ad is a widget which is part of Google Mobile Ads SDK, and it is with ad namespace. This is mainly because banner ad is a widget created by me. By banner ad is also an object created by Google Mobile SDK, and therefore we need to have an alias to differentiate those two names, and therefore we use namespace before banner ad from Google Mobile SDK. And whenever we initialize our state, so before the UI is rendered, we want to initialize the state of the widget. We initialize the banner by calling our custom API call, load banner, and we add our custom banner ad listener, and we can decide what to do whenever the ad is loaded successfully or unsuccessfully. So on ad failed to load, which is whenever ad is failed to load, and whenever is ad loaded successfully. After whole operation, we load the banner, so that ad is requested and loaded into the banner. And in the build method, we create a size box where we basically put the size of our banner. And Google Mobile SDK has built-in sizes from ad size. So ad size has multiple built-in size of different type of banners. So we have banner, fluid, full banner, large banner, leaderboard. Today I will show you how to do the large banner. So it's 320 by 100 pixels. So we have access to its height and width, which we use in height and width property. And the only thing that we need to do is transform the integer height into the double, and width into the double from ad size, because height and width from size box properties, as you can see, they are the double types. And as a child, we also use the built-in ad widget from Google Mobile SDK. And as an ad property, we just use our banner property that we initialized in its state. And basically that's it of showing banner ad. Of course, I created also banner ad API, which is in a separate file. And here, as you can see, we have the ad unit ID, and @unit ID is basically the ID of the ad unit that I have created in Google Mobile Ads. However, this ID is a is the ID of a test ad unit that you can find in official documentation of Google Mobile Ads SDK. And as you can see, we have different sample ad unit IDs, and the one that we are interested in is the banner. And as you can see, this is the same ID that I've put here. And the only thing that is interesting here is that because we are programming on Android, and when we create an app and when we create an ad for the app, then Google AdMob, there we create the apps for specific platform, and therefore ad units for those apps will have different IDs. So therefore we need to differentiate between the different operating systems. As I'm showing you an example on Android, I'll use Android, and therefore I check if our platform is Android, and there put the ID that I have created in Google AdMob. As second thing that I created there is the static method for returning banner ad. And here, as you can see, we just return banner ad, and we specify the size of the banner, which is basically the same what we have specified in our sized box container for our ad, and that's ad size.large banner. Also ad unit ID, which we specified above this function, just ad unit ID listener, and listener is specified in widget as I showed you before, and also request, which in most scenarios is just a constant ad request. Of course, as you can see, this method is static as well as the attribute. So in bigger applications, whenever you will use different type of ads, it's a better practice to use interfaces like in C#, in Java. However, in that language, there are not like interface type of object, but you can use abstract classes, for example. And then you can use banner ad API that extends or implements this abstract class. However, this application is really small one, so we can just use static API class, and that static API load banner method is called in banner ad widget. If you go back to our home screen, you can see that the banner ad was added to its column children as the last widget. And as you can also see, the main axis alignment is set up to center. This is used to align the align vertically column elements, and we also align horizontally the column elements by assigning the cross-axis element to center. This is column. In a row object, the main axis alignment and cross-axis alignment meanings is the opposite, but maybe I will show that in some kind of a tutorial later. Okay, so now I'll just run the application. So let's just run it without debugging. As you can see, the emulator is running. And as you can see, the app is up and running, and the ad is below our launch button, and there is also a white space between the button and the ad. So I can see it's working. The last thing that I wanted to show you, that I showed in the cutoff, in that live that was interrupted, is the main.dart file. And apart from initializing the Google Mobile Ads SDK, we also want to configure our test devices by updating the request configuration for mobile ads instance. And to do that, we just create new request configuration that we then update in this method. And what we need to do, we need to specify the test device IDs. And this is an advertising ID of our device. And to find the advertising ID of your device, then you need to go to your settings of your Android device, click Google, and then you need to click Cards, and then you will see your advertising ID that is here. And this is really important whenever you want to test your application or test your ads on your real device. So when you debug your application on real device, then it's important that you use the device that is in your request configuration. For emulator, it doesn't really matter because the Google Mobile Ads SDK will recognize this device as emulator. So it's only important whenever you connect your Android device to your PC and debug your application in your real device. You need to have your test device ID pasted here. Apart from that, you need to also register your test device ID in your Google AdMob account. And to do that, you need to go to settings, you need to go to test devices, then you need to click add the test device. You need to specify your device name. You need to also specify the platform, if it's Android or iOS, and then you need to specify the advertising ID that you will find in settings. And that should be the same as in code here. Okay, it's all for this tutorial. I hope that you found this video interesting, and give a like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. So yeah, see you next time. It's Pacman there, who is the best.